creative. I have some lingering fucking weird self-doubt about myself that won't let me, for some reason, just go do it.
Well, that's never gonna stop. Like, because for me, I'm sure you've heard of imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
It's not like a legitimate thing, but it's something that anybody of any kind of status, not anybody, but most people of some kind of a status suffer from. And it's literally like, I'm fucking pulling a fast one, and people are going to find out I'm a fucking fraud because I'm actually not that awesome.
Oh, God,
You know what I mean?
I fucking feel that so
That's imposter
bad.
syndrome, yeah. Like, I mean, I feel it. I feel real bad with the band because it's like, I don't, I was a fucking, I was a fucking scumbag, fucking skipping school, pissing in the alleyway, fucking trying to find beer yesterday, and now I'm just doing what I do. And, and it's weird because, like, now it's at the point, like, there was a long time I was doing the music, but it was cool because, like, I knew everybody who listened to us in one way or another. And now it's at the point to where, like, no, we have, like, fans. And to say that out loud, I hate myself.
Yeah,
but I don't know why, because that's what I always that's what I always wanted, and that's what I always worked for. And now that I have it, I'm like, ugh, but I'm not.
They're gonna know I did bad at school.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I don't want to stop ever. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna live a day of my life not being in probably nervous aggression. But I mean, if something was to happen with that, I mean, which I don't think there would be, because like I'm the only. Yeah. I started nervous aggression.
I'm yours.
The only. Yeah, it's just kind of anybody I jam with has to do it under the moniker of nervous aggression.
Yeah,
I feel
you get you get to decide when that's over.
Yeah, I don't see it ending anytime soon. Like, I'm nowhere near done. Like, I'm not done yet with it. When I'm done with it, I'll put it to rest. But I'm not done with it.
I have a lot of problems. I think a lot of, like, the imposter syndrome thing you're talking about, a lot of it. It's bugging me now because I don't have anyone else to blame anything on.
Yeah.
Like, if I put something out now, it's probably it's going to be 100% me. And, like, if it sucks, it's my fault 100%. I can't say, like, I don't like that fucking guitar part, or those fucking drums are too fast.
Yeah, but seriously, like, literally 2 weeks later, nobody's going to fucking care. You might get roasted for 2 weeks. That ain't that bad. That ain't.
But
that
I kind of
bad.
had it coming anyway.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, but what type of people out there? And I've experienced it. But what type of people out there really are trying to fucking tear someone down for trying to do something? Not good people. No. So fuck them.
And that's another thing.
You're not gonna lose friends.
Yeah, like, I kind of fuck. If anyone's involved, it's probably my friends.
Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't. That's something that I've learned to deal with over the years, because we do have people who just, like, for whatever reason. I don't know, and it
just makes them feel good about not doing it themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's people in good bands that shit on us, but it's like, I mean, I used to be like, oh, because they see that I'm a fucking fraud and I suck and I'm not good and I don't deserve good things. But at the end of the day, it's like, no, they're just shitty to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just, like, caught in the crossfire.
I could be covering their fucking song.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, no, I hate that song.
Yeah. Yeah. And
that's
I mean,
there's
people who never have been to a show who've never, never seen us live, never fucking really talked to us, that just shit on us. But that's real rare, And then, like, everyone we've played live for, even if they hate us, they don't carry it out the door with them.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened. I don't think that's happened where someone, like, really hated us in a while, unless I didn't notice. Most people either like us or just like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
That's mostly what it is. And it's cool to be there too. Like, it's like, oh, okay, like.
And I don't even know why this is an issue for me. Every week I put something out.
Yeah.
Like,
with the podcast.
Yeah, like, dude, it didn't matter if the episode was damn near unlistenable. I'm putting it out because it's just something it's content, and I create things.
That's probably why I could never be a podcaster, because, like, there would be an episode that's really popular, and I would be like, the only reason it's got so many views is because there's so many people out there laughing at me for how shitty this is, so I need to delete it. Like, that's not all the time, but sometimes my brain goes there. So.
We had an episode one time, I think it might have been like number 10 or 11.
Yeah.
We were trying this thing where we were doing like movie commentary. And we thought it'd be funny to do like shitty movies.
Yeah.
And we did Wolverine Origins because it's notoriously fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And it was so shitty that we couldn't find things to make fun of. Like,
Really?
we were just sitting there marveling at how bad it was.
Yeah. You're just waiting for the shitty part to be over so you can talk about it.
Yeah,
It
like
keeps
just
going.
something to poke at. And like we just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And we talked so little that YouTube's algorithm was able to pick up the fucking noise in the background from the movie.
Yeah.
Mind you, we were recording with the Yeti at this point, so it's
Yeah.
just fucking noise from a computer speaker.
Yeah.
And like we said so little that it was able to pick it up and boot us from YouTube and delete that fucking thing from existence.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even keep the raw audio, and like
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't good, there's no need to like try to get that one back,
no, but I don't keep a lot of old episodes. Like they're stored online, a lot of them.
Yeah.
I keep the raw audio to like really special ones,
Right.
like the one you were texting me about earlier, like the Eureka in the prison
Yeah,
plan
it was-
episode. Like
That one's funny.
I still have the raw audio from that.
For sure. You got to.
I keep it on a fucking flash drive somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Like anything like where it was just monumentally funny for the entire time, I will re-put it out every once in a while. Like when I'm feeling froggy and like I start thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that episode's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
And
I actually even noticed just earlier that on this vinyl table thing you have is the number 1 is Prison Plan. I was like, oh, that's cool.
oh yeah,
I'm like, I need to check those other ones out because usually on the days that I'm about to come in, I'll just like go listen to a random episode to kind of get in the zone.
just to get you in the Modern Savage zone.
Yeah, yeah.
It's see, like we have episodes I love. We have some I hate and some I forgot. Like Birthcast 2, I fucking deleted the raw audio.
I would.
I was so goddamn mad at that fucking episode.
I don't think anyone would hold it against you if you took it down either. Like,
no, and like,
that's your decision, obviously, but
and here's how stubborn I am. I'm gonna do a Birthcast 3,
yeah.
but I'm not telling anyone that they're invited to it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make plans on a weekend and be
Yeah.
like
Have it more controlled, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
and like I don't want anyone to know what they're walking into.
Yeah.
I just want them to like show up and be like, oh fuck, this is going down right now.
Yeah.
So that's my plan for the next one.
Okay.
Like,
Just have a birthday party and
yeah,
yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna call it a fucking party.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey man, I'm gonna fucking watch some fights this fucking night.
Okay, I got you.
And like it'd be really cool because like I'm gonna drink a few beers for my birthday, and like
Yeah.
as soon as people walk in, welcome to the Modern Savage podcast.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that,
they might see it coming too because you already did it 2 years in a row. You know what I mean?
I'm
So
gonna
they
not
might-
do it. I'm not doing it my birthday weekend.
Mhm.
I'm just I'll pick a fucking day.
Yeah.
Like somewhere around my birthday. It might be 2 weeks ahead of time. Might be a fucking month after.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got you.
But I just know that fucking disaster that happened last year isn't going to fucking happen again.
Right.
Like, I can't have that happen again.
Yeah.
And it was a shit episode, but like, there was a number of things that just went fucking wrong. I think there was too many people. It was just, we got too fucked up before it even began.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not interested in a repeat. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
no.
fucking...
Well, that's the thing too. You learn from it. You make mistakes and you learn.
And another thing, Josh and I were talking about it last night. We realized that we say fuck entirely too much. Like we use
I
it like
guess
the
that's
word
a Midwest thing. I guess that's a Midwest thing. We curse more than New Yorkers. Like,
Really?
People don't realize it, but like if you're from the Midwest, you tend to swear way more on average than, which I don't know who's doing that study, but apparently that's a thing.
Swearing doesn't bother me, but it bothers me.
It doesn't. My brain doesn't communicate
when it's
that
me,
those are bad words anymore.
yeah,
Like only when I'm around like my grandma or something. But
it bothers me when I use it as a comma.
yeah, like fucking
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah, like you don't need to be saying it. Yeah, but I mean that's
But
just
me saying shit right there didn't register
exactly. Yeah.
because I was making a point with it.
Yeah. I don't give a shit either way. Like I just talk how I talk, you know.
Here's another fun fact. There is one Modern Savage episode in existence that does not contain the word fuck.
How did that go? Was that on purpose?
Kinda.
Yeah.
It was the episode before the Super Bowl,
Okay.
and I took everything to my dad's house,
Yeah.
and JP, like, I think he had a migraine or something,
Yeah.
and wasn't able to make it. It was just me and my dad, and just from us growing up strict, I don't say fuck in front of my dad.
Right.
Like, he's heard me say it when I'm pissed or like when I hurt myself.
Yeah.
Because that's when it comes out.
Yeah.
But like, I don't make it a habit. And we made it through an entire episode talking about CTE and football predictions and everything, like over an hour.
Yeah.
And I didn't say fuck the entire
See,
time.
I don't have that with my parents. Like both my parents always swore up. Like as soon as I hit like 12, my mom was like, I just don't give a shit. Just don't talk like a fucking.
Yeah, don't say
You
it
know
in front
what I
of
mean?
me.
Yeah, well, not even that. She
Oh,
didn't give
really?
a shit. She really just quit giving a shit. But then, you know, when you're 12 or 13 with the license to cuss, you're like, yeah, and fuck and shit and damn and bitch.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, look, you got to swear like an adult or don't swear at all. But she didn't say that, but that's basically what it was.
I gotta
So-
tone it down.
and ever since, yeah, like don't just fucking say fuck because you can say fuck.
Yeah.
Like, but she never really cared. And then my dad just like, I didn't even realize we were cussing. Like it just didn't, because he's so, and they just, and not that they swear all the time, and they know when to. And a big thing was she taught me when to be appropriate. Like if I'm at like Aldi's and there's a mom with 2 kids,
don't
I'm not gonna be like, yo, how the fuck are you, bro? If I see someone walk in, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, what's like? Really, in public in general, I tend to watch my mouth at work. You know, especially at work, I tend to, not at the warehouse, but like with customers.
See, like it all depends. Like old people, they love me.
Yeah.
But like if I walk into a garage where it's just, or like perfect example, there's a store that sells and repairs like cell phones.
Yeah.
Like if I walk in there, I'll swear around those guys. But like they're also my age
Yeah.
and know what I am.
Right.
Like they've known me and met me enough times to where they know that this is just.
Yeah. It's just
They
part
know
of it.
me.
Yeah. You're right.
But like I'm also the guy that told an old lady that if she needs to move her mailbox up onto her porch, I'd be happy to walk up her steps for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just being appropriate.
Yes,
You
and
know,
like I don't
there's a
think
time and place.
there's not enough of that now.
Yeah. Maybe not.
I don't think people are as considerate as they could be.
So yeah, there's a lot of people, but I feel like there might have always been people like that. But I haven't been around always. But.
I just think it's a 2000 teens mindset that we became very entitled all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, there's so many people who just like, to question them on any level is the ultimate
they
sin.
get mad.
Yeah, like to fucking just say anything that might, take anything they do and hold it into any kind of like light, or is just, I mean, how are we supposed to correct each other's behavior as a society?
Oh, you can't, because only God can judge me.
Well, not even that. I mean, it's more like this.
They take
Dude,
it personally
it's more the super liberal people. Like I know a lot. I'm pretty liberal, and I know a lot of super liberals who are just like, they're awesome people. We're friends. But I mean, like, if I had an honest, uncensored discussion with them, they would take, because I don't agree with absolutely everything. There's a lot of that. But I'm noticing it more with the liberals and the conservatives, and it used to be more conservatives, but now
absolutely.
it's like it's just tenfold coming back. And but if I say
pendulum's
something that
swinging.
isn't totally, and I don't think I think anything that's really, if you really listen to what I'm saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm saying. and I can't think of anything specifically, but I've noticed that the more liberal people just want to start attacking me and hurt. And what I think
it's more about being right.
Well,
than...
I think their virtuous state of mind, I kind of get where it's coming from, but at the same time, it's like they have a license to fucking bully me.
Yeah.
And shame me and publicly like hurt me. Like, I'll never forget. There was this I don't know if you heard the Maynard James Keenan thing. I guess some chick, I think she was over the age of 18, but I'm not sure, got onto his tour bus. He saw her in the crowd, right? And it's a Tool show. It's a stadium. Has his agent go out and say to meet him on the bus, and she goes onto the bus, follows him to his back room, and he starts getting undressed. And then she didn't leave or run or say no, but they had sex, and now Maynard James Keenan is a rapist.
Oh, Jesus
Which
Christ.
That's such a nuanced, heavy discussion, but like, I think that with a dude of his status, with people out there, if she felt threatened and she said no and he started to panic, tour buses are pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those people would hear.
Yeah.
There's not really much.
That says consensual sex to me.
And, well, I mean, in maybe, they're his people and like, but I mean, you gotta fucking, if you really, I wonder if it's just someone who had sex with him, because she mentioned something about being there with her boyfriend. And the question has to be, because there's crazy people out there, is it because she felt guilty? Or he fucking scared her? And that what I think realistically happened
might have been
is
starstruck and regret it later.
That hurts me so much that women feel like they can't say no.
I know.
That's what I think really happened. I really feel like she couldn't. That's just what I just said was like a what if, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which right there, if anyone some people that I know, if they heard me say that, they would fucking probably like, I would get one of those virtue shares on Facebook. This guy's an abuser, and like I would get that just for saying I would be called a rape apologist, and I'm not. But what I think is most likely to have happened, and what kills me, is that she felt like she didn't have the power to say no, and that hurts me to think that women this day and age can feel like that. And I think we need to figure out how to teach women that. But what do we do? And there's something that I can't answer those, and I don't think these people win. I don't think the answer is all men are naturally rape. We're gross, okay?
Perverts,
we're gross, but we're not. Like, if I was with a chick and she told me no on anything, I would.
We're
fucking
done right
stop.
now.
Like, because I was raised right. I'm another person at the end of the day. But so anyway, there's a lot there, but that was. The article was going around about, and of course she would never listen to me long enough to hear me say that. And I'm not going to type that either on Facebook. No. But I posted something about, hey, like, we don't know all the facts. Like, I'm not saying anything, but there's crazy people out there. Just because you wrote on an article and it's on the internet doesn't make it true. Mm-hmm. And I got the fucking, 10 people jumped on me for that one, and then and this chick that I've known for a long time, that I considered her a friend. And she just jumped on and she put I didn't read everything just because there was so much after I said that. And she she said a lot. And I was at work. I can't read my phone like that. And then when I got off work, I forgot about the whole thing, and she started direct messaging me, and she jumped down my throat. I don't remember exactly what I said, but then she said, "You sound like a real asshole, blah, 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 blah," and just hostile words. And then I said, "Listen, I don't mean to upset you, and I don't understand why you're being so mean to me." And I tried to explain a little bit, and she did the fucking thing. Well, you think what? I'm being mean because I said you sound like an asshole? Come on, man.
No, you.
And I was like, no, yeah, that's. She did say sound, but that's not any better than calling me an asshole.
No, you're.
And I said, yes, that was mean of you. And then she apologized, and I'm like, we'll chalk it up. I understand that's a very heated topic. We'll chalk that up to miscommunication. Because I think if she and I talked face to face, she wouldn't have popped off on me like that. And I think she would have listened long enough to hear what I had to say. And but that's the thing.
It's hard to convey tone over fucking
But
text.
there's so many people who just because it's different. Because what I'm saying isn't what if you're a good liberal, if you're a good literal liberal, you'll say this and you'll say that, and
Mm-hmm.
you because you're against the blatant and criminal abuse from police to black people that absolutely happens, that very much fucking
absolutely
pisses me off to my core, and that there are sexist aspects of the structure of the system and there are injustices going on. Because I agree with that, why does that mean I have to love communism? Where did that come in? Like, you guys are the ones getting fucking tricked. Like, there's just so many little things that, like, I that's not really what this is about, you know. So I don't know. That's
the ones that get me are the people that the ones that chalk up kneeling for the pledge at football games,
dude.
to
I
fucking
support,
being against
I don't
America.
Give a fuck about football. I support Kaepernick not just for his right to kneel, but I fucking love that he did. I love
and
Colin
continues.
Kaepernick. Yes, and fucking I'm so behind that guy, but I'm not gonna go buy some fucking Nikes.
No.
Because there's still a big fucking corporation with brown,
Child
what is
labor.
it? Yeah, like brown kids working, and it's like, dude, they're kind of racist too, though. Like, I understand why Kaepernick's doing it, because it's just giving him more publicity and getting that conversation still out there.
It's a
So I'm
stage,
with him.
and someone's giving it to him.
Yeah, exactly. And fucking he needs to take that. But like, I'm not gonna burn Nikes, and I'm not gonna fucking like when you go to that level, then you are just, I can't.
Well, here
You're not being rational.
we're gonna begin our episode of debunking shit right now. We're gonna get on
Let's
some
do it.
other
Let's
shit.
do it, because I
some
started to
holiday
tip into
shit.
some fucking conspiracy shit.
All right, so a lot of people, I see them bragging that no team signed him or anything, and they're under the impression
Well, I
that
guess he wasn't a very good football player.
that's it.
I don't
They're
really
under
know
the
either way.
impression that it's because he's kneeling. I'm like, look at his fucking stats, son.
Yeah.
That's why no one wants him. He's
Yeah.
not worth the headache.
Yeah,
Like, you're drawing some. If you don't want that attention on your team,
yeah.
like, I grasp that, especially for a player he's not fucking Tom Brady.
Dude, I don't
And
know any other football player that has been signed since him. Like, I just don't know any other. So
he's a backup quarterback, is what he is.
Yeah.
And no one wants to sign a backup quarterback that takes that would come with that kind of baggage.
yeah,
It's not that he's fucking kneeling and like they don't
he's like
fucking
this
agree.
star, and he's this all-star quarterback.
There's
and,
fucking
yeah,
20
being
people on
robbed.
every fucking team that kneel.
Yeah,
Not a big fucking deal anymore.
yeah.
Then there's the idiots that are like, oh, that's against the fucking troops. It has
No.
nothing.
No.
Look up any fucking veteran right now.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And they're like, yeah, I agree with Colin.
Yeah.
And it's solely because that's why I'm out here, to protect his right to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like,
I
he's
mean, well, and
he's
you
not
might-
against us. This entire thing has nothing to do with the fucking troops. It has to do with fucking
It's about police
law
it's what he said
enforcement
it was
killing
about.
black people.
Yeah. Well, killing, and that's the other thing too. They're killing a fuckload of white people. They're actually killing more white people than black people.
Really?
Yeah, but there's also way more white people in this country than black people, so I would like to know the per capita numbers. But they're killing a fuckload of everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, no, these
There's
cops,
the
I don't.
issue.
I think there is definitely a racist aspect to it, but there's also a classist aspect to it, and there's a lot of just fucking power hungry savages who got all C minuses in high school, who were just fucking big fat dudes who pushed around people, now have a license to push around people,
Yeah.
and be big fat fucking powerhouse guys.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on, and we need a system to police the police truly, justly, and fairly. Not people who you can cut deals with, and not people who you can fucking like pay to go away. We need a legitimate collation from the citizens, I think, is where it should come from, but that would be made illegal. I'm sure that would be made illegal
yeah.
so quick.
Oh yeah, because that'd be
We're literally in a game that we can't win when it comes to the law enforcement and the people in power. But that's the thing nobody wants to talk about. What people want to talk about is bathrooms.
yeah.
God damn it, dude, fucking Buck Angel can come. I'll fucking hold hands with Buck Angel on 2 separate toilets while we take a shit together. I don't give a fuck about bathrooms.
We'll go somewhere with a fucking glory hole. I'll stick my hand through it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll fucking hang out.
I'll hold Shim's hand.
Dude, I'll
while
hang
it's-
out with as long as they're like nice, decent, respectful people. I'll hang out with anybody.
I don't judge people. I judge them individually.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're an asshole,
I
I
don't
don't
play the
fucking want you
identity.
around, and I'm gonna tell you you're an asshole.
Yeah, and I don't play that identity bullshit either, dude. I'm not a straight white man at 26 from dude, I'm fucking Leroy Smith, bitch.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
You know, I've been thinking about. I'm gonna put this out in the fucking universe because I actually want it to happen. I want this podcast and the three of us as a fucking group to start being more proactive in things. Like, I would love to go be silly at the Anthrocon.
what's that?
That's the fucking furry convention. I would like to go on the fucking road with
let's
a
do that
camera
shit.
and just see if these people have a fucking sense of humor, because I bet they do. If we
Oh,
show
yeah,
up
dude,
as
they're-
fucking
the
safari
thing.
hunters to Anthrocon, they're going to have a blast
Dude,
with this, and I'm going to chase every fucking one of
These
them.
people have to have a sense of humor to make it as far in life as they did and be that just fucking strange. You
If
know
I
what I
walk
mean? They
through
gotta
there as
have
a
some
fucking
sort of
plastic
it's
muzzle
all
loader
lighthearted. Like, I'm not gonna go be mean. You know what I mean? But
No.
we'll crack some jokes. You know, we'll be a little. Maybe some will get upset. Maybe some of them will laugh.
You're
you know?
making fun of our fucking lifestyle. Absolutely. It's fucking ridiculous,
weird.
but so is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so let's have
yeah.
fun.
Like, yeah, make fun of. There's plenty of things you can make fun of me about. Go for it. Like, let's
I'm
laugh
dressed
about
like
it.
the hunter from Jumanji.
Let's stop taking ourselves so fucking seriously and laugh at each other and ourselves. And like, don't be mean spirited, but let's just fucking relax a little bit.
I saw something. It was a guy who showed up to a gay pride march
Yeah.
and set up a booth and started wearing a shirt that said "Free Dad Hugs" and started giving hugs to gay
That's
people.
the most beautiful shit
that
ever.
his
Yeah, I've
family
seen
like
people do
fucking
that.
said no.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's people who go out of their way and like, you know, for anyone whose dad pushed them, like
Yeah.
or mom or whatever. I've seen that, and that's what humans are. Like everyone hates humans, and when you know you have this naked. That's what people are, man. That's what real people should be.
But for us to pack up a laptop and a Yeti microphone and go talk to some people like that,
yeah, I'd love
and
to
then
do
take
it.
pictures
And
and
ask,
like,
dude, I would have a lot of questions for like the LGBTQ
Yeah.
RSTUV. Like, I have so many questions, man, that I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I don't want to make them feel bad. Just don't get mad at me because some of my I'm dirty white boy from Ohio. I might have some ignorant ass questions
Yes.
that are obvious to you, but I genuinely want to know, and I'm not coming. Like, I would love to do something like that.
I want to laugh with you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And
Like,
I might say some dumb shit, but
yes,
just don't take yourself so
it's gonna be
seriously.
I'm
yeah.
gonna ask some ridiculous shit.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
But also, you're fucking wearing glittery shorts, so let's fucking have fun,
Yeah,
son.
let's talk about that too. You know,
And I still hugged you.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll fucking yeah.
And then-
I love people in general.
Then
like,
the idea of the fucking the Dude War calendar. Was I telling you about that?
who?
Did I tell you about the Dude War calendar?
Oh yeah, you mentioned it.
Like, dude, imagine you dressed up like Santa Claus trying to be
Sexy Santa with my fucking
Yes!
thing. Yeah, that'd be hilarious, dude. I'd do it. I'd fucking
Absolutely.
for real do it. Yeah, as long as I could be Santa Claus or like, dude, I even have like a tree stand and shit. Like I could fucking like put on like face paint.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
For like hunting season.
Yeah, for like September or
Just
whatever.
like camo shorts and like grease paint.
Yeah.
and a bright orange hat.
And I'm just like, I got my bow here, and I'm like looking over my shoulder, all sensually.
But it's like a fucking like a Cupid bow.
That'd be so awesome. Like a little kid with the suction cup on the end.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
That's a perfect one. Like
Yeah.
one of us in an adult diaper.
Dude, that'd be
Dibs because I'm bald like a baby.
okay. Dude, you can have that one. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I love doing silly shit. That's the other thing, dude.
But we can make a calendar, fucking sell it online, and donate everything.
Yeah, let's do it. That'd
Like,
be awesome.
We
Kinda
might
like
have
at
to
the
pay
end of-
like a photographer friend, but like,
Dude, I know people who would do it in a heartbeat.
oh,
I
absolutely.
know people who do it for free just to fucking be a part of it.
It's-
And good photographers too.
Yeah, like, and dude, come on the podcast and laugh with us about it.
Yeah, and we'll fucking dude, that'd be amazing.
Help us
down.
fucking brainstorm. Dude, if they're friends with us, they probably have a sense of humor.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
and they
for
probably
sure.
want to see us embarrass ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing too, because I went through this phase of, you know, I think it was just like, you know, late teens, early 20s, of trying to of feeling guilty for not being like this hardened
Yeah.
Cause like I don't know why, but like I feel like I'm much like, don't get me wrong, I got my sides to me and everything, but like genuinely who I am is just a silly fucking person, and I think that's something that a lot of people should at least try out for a minute. Just stop taking yourself so damn seriously.
Dude,
have a good time.
Everything started to suck when we forgot how to laugh at ourselves.
Yeah,
like we take the country as a whole takes itself so fucking seriously.
Yeah.
That like if you get teased, like it's
there's got to be an assembly about it, and like there's bullying, and bullying is a problem, but you're not gonna solve it. You know how to beat bullying? Teach your kid how to fucking stand up for themselves.
Yeah,
that's how you beat bullying.
Yes,
you can't stop bullying. You're never gonna stop bullying.
No,
that's always gonna exist, and it's gonna exist after school too. But are you going to send your kids out, and then you can't do anything after school?
Kids are very tribalistic.
Yeah, and they're mean as shit.
Oh fuck,
dude,
yeah,
kids are
mean.
vicious. Yeah,
but everyone goes through that.
Yeah,
and here's the thing: the kids doing the bullying are just as fucking insecure.
Yeah, they just found a really shitty way to deal with their insecurities.
And they might
maybe they outgrow it, maybe they don't.
Maybe they just might be a little bit more sarcastic, a little bit quick on the draw.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe you just fucking fold under pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when someone just spits something out at you, you might not know how to fucking come back at it, and all of a sudden, everybody knows you're fucking weak right there.
Yeah.
And they're assholes, so they're going to attack it.
Right.
But it's... I don't know. I think the tribalism thing has a lot to do with, like, school shootings.
Yeah, it does.
I think,
and it's all these, I remember I did go through a point in my life where I felt like I had to shoot up, like, legitimately.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that, and that's weird because, like, I don't know if I ever would have. I really don't know if I ever would have. But I did go through a period. Like, I would fantasize about it. Like, I would...
Just making it all go away.
Yeah, you know.
But here's the thing. I have a theory on this.
Yeah.
And it might sound fucking nuts or it might just make total sense.
Yeah.
I think that in the 90s, when they started closing down schools, instead of, like, building new ones, and then just started cutting budgets, and then you have to consolidate, 2 elementary schools. Now the consolidated elementary school has to consolidate with a third one.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have fucking 30 kids in a fucking classroom.
Yeah.
Now we all go to one fucking middle school from 2 different counties.
Yeah, and see, that's what, like, for me was normal. Like, I had, like, I think 400, somewhere like 300 to 500 kids in my graduating class.
Yeah, and
like,
dude, do you know how fucking... Instead of, like, 15 people, you're dealing with over double that now?
Yeah.
And then you break it all down in tribes because that's what people are.
Yeah.
Like, you seek a group.
Yeah.
Everybody does. That's just natural. And then if you don't fit into a group, now you have fucking large groups giving you shit every day.
Yeah.
And now you're on fucking dissociative drugs because, God forbid, like, you talk to anybody about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just, it's not even just like venting. Like, I think, I'm very against antidepressants. I was on and off them all my life until I left home, basically.
Yeah.
Like, there was a couple years, though, where I would just put them down the drain. Like, my mom still doesn't know, and she'd take me to a psychiatrist, and, like, I was put on just about, like, every antidepressant you could think of. The shit never did shit for me. It just didn't work.
No, and it's a Band-Aid.
Like now that I'm older and I'm, like, doing research on antidepressants and, like, dude, like, yeah, like you said, you got to deal with those problems. You can't just cover them up with something and leave them there. That's not healthy. That's why people fucking snap.
And that's why people are prone to addiction.
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with shit.
Yeah.
You need to be fucking gray all the goddamn time. Yeah. And you
want to know, I have a theory on why the world is kind of the way it is.
What is that?
How many people do you know personally that grew up with their biological father in the household? With their biological father and their biological mother, even.
You mean like from divorced families?
No, like not divorced families, their parents that stayed together all their lives.
Oh, you mean like
Maybe
how many?
even still
How many? How many people do I know personally that like their parents are still intact?
Yeah.
Ooh, not many.
Yeah. I think that's a big reason. I think that has a lot to do with what's going on. Now, how many out of those friends, how many people live with their moms?
Yeah, because
Most of them, right?
Maternal custody. But
Right.
see, my parents split up when I was really young.
Yeah.
Like, I was
How old were you when your stepdad came into your life?
3.
Okay. So you like grew up with him.
Yeah, we didn't.
So there was like a strong male presence.
I was an introvert, and everybody wanted me to be involved, and I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
So I was forced into it a lot.
Right.
And it made me really, really resent everyone.
Yeah.
And then I also had my sister at my mother's house, and my brother was a baby. But like right after my brother was born, I moved in with my dad.
Yeah.
And I was an only child, and it helped me balance.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I grew up only seeing my dad 4 days a month.
My dad,
every other weekend.
Every other weekend.
And when I would be up there, my dad would just be day drinking and listening to Fox News way too loud. Like that was it. And then with my mom, and my mom didn't date a lot of guys. She dated a couple guys, but to be a child watching your mom date is very difficult in ways that don't, I can never talk about with my mom, because then she's a very loathing person as it is. Mm-hmm. That's where I get it from, I think. And I think it would just destroy her, but it was very difficult to watch my mom date.
See,
Especially, she did date this one guy that was really cool. She dated one guy that was really cool. She dated one guy that was a fucking weirdo, or redneck weirdo, and she dated this one guy that used to physically dominate me a bunch. He wouldn't beat the shit out of me, but he would physically dominate, and it was never sexual either. But he would hurt me a lot. And he hurt me in ways that won't leave bruises. He'd do pressure point shit with me, and he was a real weird, and he just kind of fucking moved in. Jesus. Unannounced. But what I'm getting at is, at the end of the day, I didn't have my biological father in the household, and I don't know if I would have done any better, because my dad has been a dick most of my life. But at the same time, I think you kind of need that. I think you need the guy. It's you need that male acceptance from a male in authority, in an authoritative position as a young male. Never really getting that, I think, is what I'm getting to.
See,
at least that's all me. I'm just throwing this shit out there as I go.
When I moved in with my dad, I had a stepmom who was very verbally abusive.
Yeah.
And she'd just make remarks about my weight and shit in front of her family.
Yeah.
And then
my dad did that shit to me a lot.
Oh, dude, it fucking fucked me up for a long time.
Yeah,
I think it's why I have body issues today.
Same here.
But she would eventually go into work from home, and she would have her brothers who were pretty much just oxygen thieves out.
Yeah.
And she would make chores for me to do.
Yeah. While
her son would sleep until 3 in the afternoon and never had to do anything around the house.
Yeah, he was perfect, and you were the...
Yeah, and I would have to I couldn't go do things with my friends after school. I'd have to go home.
Yeah.
And do my fucking chores she made up for me, which is cleaning up her bullshit.
Yeah.
While she fucking told everybody how much everything she didn't like about me.
Yeah, she sounds like a real bitch.
Yeah. And it's all right. She's miserable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope she found peace, man. I don't wish anything.
Yeah, what kind of a person is what kind of shit are they going through?
I can't.
What was their parents like?
I can't be better than her if I can't forgive her.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah.
If I harbor a grudge, that's
I hope that bitch fucking dies.
Yeah, that's me letting her
energy.
win.
That's wasted energy, man.
I wish the best for her, and I hope she figured her shit out. Just being my stepmom, she wasn't a good one.
She wasn't very good at it. I see, and I mean,
But-
all in all, here's the one thing I did have. I know my parents loved me.
Yeah.
Like, as shitty, like, shit was weird for a minute, and shit got shitty for a minute with both of them. But at the end of the day, no matter how bad it got, I always knew they loved me. Like, I always knew that. So that's something I feel like I'm very blessed to have had.
But also at the same time, I was very lucky because my grandparents lived so close. So, like, I could ride the bus to my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Or, like, during the summers, like, when I was too young to stay by myself, he just took me there. So, like, and they lived up in Lawrenceville.
Mm.
So, like, I could just go run around now.
Right.
Whereas my dad lived out on Route 8, and if I was there, I was fucking stuck because I didn't get my car license until I was, like, 17.
Yeah.
So, like, I was raised a lot by my grandmother and my grandfather,
Yeah.
which my grandfather was very introverted like me.
Yeah.
So, like, he always felt cold and distant. And, like, I didn't even know until after he was dead that, like, he even liked me as a person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Old dudes are, especially older guys.
Well, he was a sociopath like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not using that word in a cute fucking way.
Yeah.
We've really been sitting down and, like, noticing how bad my emotional issues are to where I'm like, I don't feel fucking things.
Well, it's
a lot
good
of
that
time.
yeah. I know what that's. Well, I wouldn't say because I relate to that, but I think I'm just numb to shit.
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
what
it's
it is.
just,
I should probably talk to my doctor about it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, fuck
He's
it.
gonna put me
Well,
on
at
a
least you're
list.
aware of it and you're like able to admit it. Like that just opens up the door for better things down the line.
That's another thing that helped me later in life too, is becoming self-aware
Yeah.
and knowing that I have fucking issues.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's why it's easier to laugh at myself now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's I just it depends on who it is for me. Like I can get very pissed very quick too. That's something I've noticed about
prone to
myself.
rage.
I'm fucking I could think of 1,000 reasons why, but at the end of the day, yeah, I definitely have like this very hair trigger temper. But it's like, because you and I are such good friends, you could fuck with me all day and I'll just laugh as long as it's funny. If it's not funny, I just won't laugh. But I wouldn't get pissed at you as long as I know you're not being mean about it.
Yeah, I'm never mean-spirited. towards you.
Exactly. But then there's times where it's like people I don't really know and they'll try to fuck around with me. And I know that. But as they're doing it, I'm like, they don't know me like that, and they're fucking being disrespectful, and fuck this motherfucker. And I'll get real shitty real quick. Like I don't want to talk about like a specific example, but that shit happens all the time. Like I get real, I feel disrespected, which is weird because like me and my core as a person, not that I'm trying to be self-loathing, but in a humble way, like what have I done to really earn anybody's respect that doesn't know me that doesn't know me already? Like you don't already earn that respect, but I feel like there should be this general respect amongst people that sometimes I feel like I might get slighted with, like I might not get. I don't know.
Do you
I don't
think
know what I'm trying
Do you
to
think
say.
it's because your rough appearance?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I started noticing that about myself. I noticed when I started caring more about, I'm not doing it right now, obviously, but being like more clean shaven,
Yeah.
and like when I started wearing like just like better clothes, I advanced a lot faster in like work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I showed up on my to my interview, I was wearing long sleeves.
Yeah.
Because-
Well, I mean, for me, it's been, not to cut you off, but for me, it was like people literally making, not you, but it was a dude. That's a perfect example. You remember the one time there was a picture of me and I was wearing an Immortal Technique shirt. It was years ago, and you were like, "I'm gonna buy you a new shirt." And that was, dude. I laughed. Oh shit! Anybody who was there would tell you I laughed so hard. I thought that was the funniest shit. Like 2 months ago, there's this dude that I just kind of know, and we're at a fire, and he said something about me only owning a couple. He's like, "Oh, but AJ only owns 2 shirts," and
I've probably
immediately
seen you in that shirt for like a week.
Yeah, and I was just immediately like, "No, man, I only own 5." Like, because he was trying to make, and I was just like, looked him dead in his eye, and I never make eye contact with him. I was like, no, man, I only got 5. Is that funny? Like, and it got real awkward real quick. Like, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, you don't know me like that. You don't deserve to talk to me like that. Because I would never talk to you like that. So why you talking? But I hold people to this hidden standard that nobody's made aware of. Yeah, and I'm sure if he knew that, you know, I feel bad for it now looking back on it. So, like, because I know he was just trying to, like, I could tell the dude likes me. I, for the most part, like that dude too. But I feel, you know, I feel bad for it now. But at the time, I was like, dude, I might swing on this dude for real. Like, dead serious. I'm like, I might fucking crack this dude. But anyway, but that's a good point you brought up though. Like you start to take care of yourself, you start to clean up. Yeah.
Like even
you know?
like losing weight.
Mhm.
Like I started like the more I care about me, I feel like the more I'm accepted, and it might just all totally be in my head because I'm more confident.
Yeah, that could be
But
it too.
I know like I like wearing collared shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm still the same fucking degenerate I was, but now I know like when I get pulled over, I'm probably not getting searched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I'm wearing a Compton shirt
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Like I still have this shit. It's just when I go do things or go out into public,
You're left alone. You don't get your butthole doesn't clench when a cop is driving
No.
behind you. See, mine does. But I'm in a big ass van.
Yeah.
Fucking in a studded vest, greasy hair.
wearing
like,
a Dead Kennedy shirt.
wearing a Dead Kennedy shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, and I kind of
You're
get
gonna
that,
get
but I
fondled
kinda
if you
don't.
get pulled over.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I get it, but I don't because it's like, man, I am a good person, though. Like, I just wish you knew. But I get it. Like, I'm never.
It's definitely profiling,
Yeah.
but you're also rolling probable cause.
Yeah. And I'm also.
You look like every other person that like had meth on them earlier in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Or like you showered today.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, though, because, like, I just look like where I'm from.
Yeah.
Like, that's me. I mean, the mohawk and stuff, but, like, the general nastiness of my appearance is that's East Liverpool. Like, I'm a Podleian, you know, at the end of the day. And so, man, I don't know. I don't like the profiling, but I get it. It sucks to admit, but I get the profiling to an extent.
But,
know?
like, it's also, like, 9 times out of 10, they're probably right.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, you pull over a fucking, like, busted-ass car and someone gets out and, like, they have fucking a white guy with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
The dude has drugs.
Yeah.
And probably
Yeah,
not,
there's-
like, drugs he should have.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, you know, bad drugs in there.
Yeah, he might have someone else's prescription.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I can see that too. Like, you just kind of call it upon yourself. But, I mean, it sucks that we live in a world where you have to dress a certain way to not be bothered. But dressing why would you dress that way if you weren't a certain way? You know?
I also share this mindset with...
There's a big whole bunch of layers of mind fuck what I just said, but...
There's a Doug Stanhope bit.
Yeah.
And I think it might be called Occupy Elsewhere.
Okay.
And he talks about, like, the Occupy movement and how it did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking idiots spent 15 months sitting outside of buildings when you could have been getting your friend that has a clean record enlisting in the fucking police academy.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
you
I've
could
heard
have
that
solved
one.
the problem from the inside.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that makes fucking sense.
No,
And
it does, doesn't it?
And after I heard that, that's when I started taking, like, myself more seriously.
Yeah, we need to stop having these, like, rebel flag just to piss off liberal snowflake type motherfuckers working for the police department. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of really good people who are cops.
Oh,
I'm sure. of it.
Probably more than that's bad.
Probably.
It
yeah.
almost have to be.
But, you know, they might turn bad because of how, you know, I'm not a Blue Lives Matter guy by any extent. I think that shit is the most ridiculous thing
But I
ever.
also grasp that they're people.
Yeah. I think Blue Lives Matter is directly making fun of Black Lives Matter. You know, and there's a huge difference between a blue life and a black life. You're born and have no control over the color of your skin, but you choose to wear a uniform and do that line of duty, which I think does deserve respect, but that's very disrespectful, I think.
I think the whole fucking...
When you literally...
I think
like,
it's all distracting from the real fucking problem.
Because I think Blue Lives Matter made it... That did more to make it black people versus cops than anything in the past 5 years.
Probably.
That is the most team oriented mindset.
And to the first person that ever
Tribal, like you were saying earlier.
Yes.
The very
you
tribal
break down
mindset.
in tribes.
I'm Black Lives Matter, you're Blue Lives Matter, we're black team and blue team.
Yes.
Like that line of thinking is so incorrect.
We all think the same, you all think the same.
Exactly. You're all the enemy, and then vice versa. You're the enemy. All of you are who I'm going to point my finger at and blame all my problems on.
See, like, I have opinions about things, but educate me if you have a different opinion. Don't like belittle me.
Don't jump on me. Yeah, I'd love to.
Because you're not going to change my mind if you call me a fucking idiot for like believing something.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird. I think the reason people respond that way is because that's the tone that a lot of people set.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who you could talk to them till you're blue in the face, and they're just going to be like, "Nah, man, I'm still in the Klan, though." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could just go through genetics, and you could go through all these factual scientific things, and also like you're just not a good person if you fucking like judge people just on something as trivial as the color of their fucking skin. You're a bad person, and this is why. And there are those people, but you can't fucking give those people any power by getting pissed at them. You can't take those motherfuckers seriously. Don't be around them. If they're not hurting anybody, and then fuck them. They're pieces of shit. But like, why waste all this energy on them? And why attack them? Like, they're not actually being violent.
No.
Why? Because then you're going to give them more of a reason to hate you. Because you might plant a seed. You talk to them till you're blue in the face for 3 hours. You might plant a seed there. They're not going to know it now. Maybe 10 years later, though, maybe they're like, but the second you attack them, then you solidify them in that fucking me versus you team battle shit.
See, like I catch myself generalizing because, like, me personally, I'm very anti-ghetto.
Really?
But I'm like, I don't care if you're black or white. I just fucking hate trash.
Yeah.
I hate trashy people.
Yeah.
I hate that they make no effort to not be trash most of the time. Like, they want to. Here's a good example.
Yeah.
They want to fucking bitch and complain they have fucking nothing.
Right.
Where'd you apply today?
Yeah.
Did you shave? Did you wake up before fucking noon?
Yeah.
Just because like you're living in poverty doesn't mean you can't paint your
can't.
fucking porch or get the goddamn garbage out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You fucking chose to live like that, and that's not my fucking issue.
Dude, I 100% agree with what you're saying. But except for, I don't hate anybody that, because I am kind of that dude at the end of the day.
It's not that I hate them.
But I'm not bitching about, I know why
It's
I
when it
live like
affects
that.
me.
It's because it's my fault, because I'm not doing it enough. Yeah.
You understand that if you have a fucking problem, you can fix it.
Right.
It's not anyone else's fault.
Right.
And see, like, that's like, in that situation, it wouldn't bother me.
It's a lack of responsibility.
Yes. It's like when someone calls and complains that at my job that they're not getting they haven't got their mail in a week.
Yeah.
And they go, and then like I get an angry phone call from my boss. Well, why didn't you deliver it? Because I can't find their fucking sidewalk.
Yeah.
Because they haven't cut their grass in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm not walking through what I know used to be fucking motorcycle parts.
Right.
And broken glass.
And fucking break your fucking hip.
Yes. Like I'm not walking through 2 feet of grass to go give you
I get
your
that.
junk
Yeah,
mail.
I could see that. And I delivered most of the people I deliver to are, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But poor people, rich people, ghetto people, non-ghetto people.
And it's not even poor people. If you're trying to improve your situation,
dude, I know,
brother, I'll do anything in my power to
I know
help you.
poor people that cut their grass every week on the same day, and their shit's all because they're not putting all their money into booze and drugs. They're putting their money into what they have and what they can build.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate poor people.
Oh no,
I hate fucking trash, and I hate ghetto people.
Yeah.
When you're sitting on your porch screaming cuss words, and your fucking 70-year-old neighbors down the fucking street.
See, I love that. I don't know why, but I love that shit. I don't know why. It's that fucking. I don't know. I'm used to seeing a lot of it being a Pudlian. And believe it or not, some of the best people I met are fucking trashy people. Like, by your definition, trashy people. Like, some really, some real douchebags.
Good people
too.
are good people.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. That just doesn't.
It's like, oh, you're toilet is like the whole thing is that brown thing, and there's no lid on the back, and you got a pile of pills next to your bed, but I still love you. You know,
Yeah.
I literally know
If you're
people
fun
like
and
that.
like I like to be around you, that's a different
but
situation.
you're my buddy, you know.
But also, like, I don't have to be in your life all the time if I
Oh,
don't
no,
want to.
like,
You
I
know what I
could-
mean?
yeah.
Like, you're all right to hang out with every 6 months.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean, I hate, you know, I always have my place on that borderline of gross, right?
Yeah.
I do just enough to where it's not gross. As soon as it gets gross, I clean it, but then like I just let it be. It'll be like not kept together, right? It's like messy, but it's not gross. As soon as it hits gross, I fucking go
yeah.
scrub and clean and do all that, and then I let it, and then just like I just like push it. But I'm the type of guy to just do the bare minimum anyway for things that I don't give a shit about, like,
And, like,
that.
And sometimes, like, and later, I was very much like that when I lived in Liverpool.
Right.
But later in life, you start your definition, your standards of how you want to
Of
live,
acceptable are different. Well,
they
were
will change.
dude. 3 years ago, I was borderline and past the line of gross. For
Yeah.
shit. Dude. Even before that, I was straight gross.
Like,
I was
watch
straight-
what you get out
dude,
of
I
the
was
refrigerator,
straight-
kind of gross.
Oh yeah, like I was bad. But now it's like, yeah, I see my standards improving, you know.
And they will.
But and I think
constantly.
that's just part of being a single guy is being gross.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
every dude I know that's in a committed relationship has like a nice, clean, beautiful looking house. Every dude I know that's single is like, I mean, it's not gross, but it's like it's the bad man.
Yeah.
You know, like there's definitely empty bottles from the weekend before's party, and yeah, man, it's the pad.
Yeah.
So
There's some shit around.
yeah. So
Like,
that's why
Good luck
women are
finding a
awesome.
spot on the coffee table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We might need to clean this bitch eventually.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at. You know, I definitely like I cut my grass, but not all the time. You know,
Dude, I'm still at a point where like I cut my grass every 10 to 14 days.
really.
And half the time I have to do it with a fucking weed whacker
I'm
because I let
about
it.
there too. Yeah,
I had to do it with a weed whacker because I let it get too tall.
yeah.
And it's not because I'm lazy or I don't care. It's just I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, who gives a shit too? It's like, man, like if you're not getting ticketed by the city, if you're not getting a summons,
Yeah.
then who gives a shit?
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
showing up here to like do a wellness
I don't-
check, so
yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it. That was something I think we did lose in our generation is like taking pride in your lawn. Like that's a dead concept.
We're taking pride in anything.
Yeah, or church. That's also a dead concept.
Well, that should be a dead concept.
Yeah.
I think people took that way too seriously.
Just a little, right?
Yeah, but now
The
like
Inquisition and the fucking all
now,
that shit.
now they're like, oh, priests are fucking kids.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh.
ooh, shit, we let that one get out of hand.
Well, maybe we should just let the priest marry women.
What the fuck? Yeah. Because I was gonna say, what the fuck is it with priests fucking little boys? Like, why is that? It's probably because they're not getting a nut off ever.
Yeah.
And I guess boys are more feminine than old dudes. So maybe, and it just like comes out in the most ugly, horrible
They're easy
way.
victims.
I think that's what happens when you fucking suppress sexuality. Is
Yes.
You get ugliness.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
get fucking old, like, priest fucking kids is what you get.
Yeah.
And let them get married. Who gives a flying
Yeah. What the
fuck?
fuck? Like, okay, look, that Bible. There's no. I won't, because I know people who are truly religious who just don't give a shit anymore. That is like a political talking point. That's an excuse for homophobia.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that is. They're not even these motherfuckers never read the Bible.
Dude, you can be
They always forget about like the wearing mixed linens is you'll go to hell for that, and eating anything but fish on a Friday and you'll go to hell for that. And it's selective, and it's an excuse for homophobia.
I think people are more and more starting to realize that you can be spiritual and not need to be involved with that.
Yeah. No, I believe in God 100%, but I don't believe in the Bible at all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very agnostic.
Yeah.
And I went from atheist to agnostic later in life.
Yeah.
Because I hate atheists.
Yeah, it was just smug.
Like,
No, I believe in God 100%, but I think my definition of God isn't what
and
it's not a standard definition of God. And I think that's how it should be. I think that should be something that's yours and yours alone.
Yeah, your
And if
definition
you-
of God
if-
should be personal.
If your definition of God is the earth, is science, that's cool too. But like, don't push yours on me. I won't push mine on you. Like, it should be something very personal.
Yeah, it's. I hate it. I started hating atheists for the same reason that I hated religious people, and it's because they're fucking right all the time. And if you don't agree with them, then fuck you.
Then you're wrong.
Yes,
clearly you're wrong.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you don't agree with me.
Yeah.
And here's the conclusion I came to. I don't know what's out there, if there's anything.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't fucking care because it doesn't involve me right now.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Like,
maybe when the later
I'll
in
worry
life.
about that when I'm dead.
Yeah.
And if there is a fucking man in the clouds judging me,
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a sense of humor.
Oh yeah, dude. If there's,
I owe someone an apology in that case.
Yeah.
And like, hopefully he fucking forgives me. If not,
Well,
I probably deserved it.
I can't believe that an almighty creator would send you to a horrible place for all eternity for not being convinced when he never makes an appearance. You know what I mean? I don't. And if that's the type of God there is, then boy, howdy. I'm going to meet a lot of pretty cool people in hell, because what else are you going to go to hell for?
Like I said earlier, my opinions and stances on things change when I'm presented with evidence.
Yeah, yeah.
And that could be with anything.
Same here, yeah. I mean, when I say I believe, take that like very literally. I believe, I have faith. I don't know there's a God.
No.
Nobody does. Anyone who says they do is either lying or trying to sell you something.
But
I don't know, but I believe there's a God.
Here's a phrase.
Belief don't cost shit.
Here's a phrase that we don't use enough. I don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay not to know things.
Yeah. There's a lot I don't know. There's a few things I do know.
When we were talking with, that's why I love talking with Ian.
Yeah.
Because
that dude knows a shitload.
He absolutely does. But you know what? He can convey ideas to me, and whether I agree with him or not, he can convey himself in a manner that doesn't degrade anyone.
No.
He's not condescending.
Not at all.
He, to the best of his ability, he will try to educate you.
Right. I love talking to that dude. That was one of the most fun I've had on this podcast, probably.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason that one broke the length record.
Yeah.
Did you know that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. By far, too, right? It was like 3.5 hours, right?
It was 3 hours and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the previous record was like 3:20.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I don't want to stop this guy. He's
but it was like
knowledge.
9 o'clock at night, and
yeah, that dude was awesome. I'd love to talk to him again, or on or off the podcast. I'd love to.
Absolutely, we got to get him and another friend we went to high school with. His name's Travis Ralston. He's been on here 100 times.
Yeah,
and like we've all known each other. Travis, I've known since I was 10. Ian, I went to like first grade with.
Yeah,
like so I've literally known that dude since I was like 6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And but yeah, dude, that guy, I find it very easy to agree with him, and like for him to sway me on things just in the way he presents it.
Yeah,
like
politely and intelligently.
And he fucking does his homework.
Maybe the reason he is that way is because he's sure in what he knows. He knows these things, so that gives him the confidence, so he doesn't feel like he has to be hostile because he knows this is correct. I think maybe that's where a lot of this ugliness comes from, is uncertainty in yourself.
Ian's okay with not knowing.
Yeah,
because if he doesn't know it, that gives him the potential to learn it.
Right.
And he doesn't think like he doesn't let not knowing something get his ego involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he doesn't know something and he genuinely wants to take an interest, that man will read everything he can about it and form his own opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about him.
Yeah. That's something to admire for sure. That's something to admire.
Like
try to emulate maybe.
Like even like his stance on like guns and everything, I don't agree with everything he says.
Right.
But I will listen to it because I know that he knows more about it than I do.
Yeah.
I can only make a moral opinion on it.
Right.
And a personal opinion. Whereas like,
but he has like factual evidence and
evidence.
He's statistics.
He's involved in like.
See, that's something. That was something.
And he doesn't make knee-jerk reactions.
Right. That was something that I felt like was a shame when we were talking to him, because I mean his mind is like a machine. So it just kind of like kept going. And like we got pretty in depth with topics, but there was a few things I would have really liked to like really get in depth about like the nuances of gun ownership and where he personally stands on certain things, certain aspects of it. Like a big one, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but like I personally, and I'm a gun guy, and I love going to gun shows, man. I love going to gun shows because you get really good guns for way fucking cheap.
Really?
It's dudes just trying to get rid of their guns, and they're fine. They just don't have any
Want them.
room for them anymore. And it's also like clearance sales of like a bunch of stores, gun shops, and they're just trying to get rid of shit. That's all. It's wholesale guns basically. However, I kind of do think that they should be illegal, just because
There's no background
the
check.
private buyers. Yeah, there's no background check. There's nobody checking that shit. It's all a bunch of old dudes who grew up when like you could get a fucking 22 caliber and a sock from your teacher for getting an A+ on your fucking, you know what I mean? Like those types of mentality type dudes.
So I feel a lot of the Second Amendment
And
stuff.
there's just too many crazies out there. That's all it is.
And
there's just too many fucking crazies out there.
And back to like the dissociative drugs and everything, those people have access to these guns without being checked.
Exactly.
And
That's the biggest. That's really the only reason, because I love everything else about gun shows.
yeah.
It's a good time, dude. I'll go to a gun show and be there for 5 hours and be fucking happy the whole time. I'm looking at old guns that I'll never be able to afford and being able to hold them. Like I held Lugers, like World War II, legit as fuck Lugers. Like I was able to hold one and really look at it, and like just fucking to have that was really cool for me because I like guns. I'm not passionate, but I really like guns. I enjoy guns.
So,
And I'm also a strong believer in like, dude, fucking cops never did shit for me but fuck me over my whole life. And I'm not talking just getting a speeding ticket. Like I don't trust cops. I'm not gonna fucking like call the cops and maybe they'll show up. In my experience, every time I've called the cops, nothing's happened.
really?
Yeah, every
Well,
time.
Liverpool's.
Yeah, Liverpool
bad.
cops, and you know. But I've called the cops 3 separate times in my life, and I will never call the cops ever again. And it was all very serious, very dire shit. And they fucking let me down. So someone breaks into my house with a fucking hatchet, screaming whoop whoop in the middle of the night. What am I going to do? Call the cops and try to barricade my door for as long as I can? Or fucking pull out my pistol and go get that motherfucker?
Yeah.
You know?
You're going night-night, bitch.
Yes. Yes. I'm not fucking around. Like,
No.
you know, I'm pretty sure like emergency response time is something egregious, like 8 minutes or 12 minutes or something too.
Jesus
Like that's just
Christ. You
national
need to make
average.
coffee first?
Yeah, exactly. That's like national average, which I'm sure there's a lot of factors there. But like, no, I don't trust the cops for shit. Stay off my property. I'm cool. That's kind of my opinion on cops.
Area cops. I could see that
Yeah.
in Liverpool because I remember there's times like someone would break into my car and steal shit out of it, and
Yeah.
I'd call to file a fucking police report, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Well, we don't have an officer here right now.
Yeah.
Can we call you back
Dude,
later?"
when my house got broken into, I went to the station to file a report. They didn't follow up on it. They said, okay, we can't do much, but like, and I said, okay, I went to GameStop to see if they sold them. They can't release that information to anybody but the police. So will you at least go down there? Because I'm pretty sure that's where that shit ended up, was GameStop. That's the easiest way to sell fucking video games and a whole system is go to GameStop. And I'm like, can you please go to GameStop? They said fucking they would, and they never did. And I went and checked in GameStop every day to see if they came in. They didn't come in. They didn't come in. They didn't come in.
Wow.
And it's like, man, and that's the last time I ever called the cops, man. And I really didn't even, like, something in me told me not to anyway, because I was not going to fucking, but I was just so fucking pissed, and I wanted to get this motherfucker. But
Like, there's not a thing in this studio that I don't have a picture of the serial number of.
oh, dude. I would love for someone to try to steal one of my guns, because then the cops are going to give a fuck if a gun gets stolen out of my house. And I have all those serial numbers. And I have the serial number of everything I own of value, which is like 5 things. Like, seriously. And that's the other thing, man, that pissed me off. This is a dude when I got robbed. This is a dude, man, I helped him when he had nobody. I can't tell you how many times. I was there for that dude. I can't tell you how many times. I fucking had his back through all kinds of shit, even though I knew he was fucking wrong. And like, dude, for him to turn around and steal from me like that, and that was, dude, I didn't have any. I had my PlayStation, my games, my TV. That's it, and I had my bed and my guns, and my dog. That's it, man. I don't have shit else. Still, really don't. And he fucking took the one thing I had of value, like
piece of shit,
man.
For just to get high.
Yeah, just to get fucked up, man.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So, needless to say, me and him ain't friends anymore.
Fuck that. I remember hearing about that and being like, "Oh, we're gonna go fuck someone up."
Oh, dude.
That was my first thing. I'm like,
one of those things, man. The one time I saw him,
I'm gonna take my nice shirt off and head to Liverpool, I guess.
I only saw him one time, and I was in the home savings drive-through, and he was at McDonald's, and it was pouring down rain, and he was with these two fucks I know. And I was barefoot, man, and I wanted to go say something to him. Like, my heart's racing, like I'm hyperventilating. But then it's like, dude, there's cameras and witnesses everywhere. But, like, that's the one time I saw him. That motherfucker, like, a while after that happened, tried to follow me on Instagram. Like, you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, no, because that's his thing. He'll fuck you over and then months later come back, okay. And I've done it. He's been a dick to me, and he's done shit and basically left me hanging. Okay, man, I'll fucking be your friend again. No, motherfucker, not this time.
Nah. No, we ain't doing that shit.
Fuck that motherfucker.
Fuck that motherfucker. Call him out.
Yeah, fuck Justin Campbell, man. Justin Campbell from East Liverpool, Ohio. If anybody listening to this has some brown kid with a big stupid fucking nose and some ghetto-ass, janky-ass tattoos named Justin trying to live in their house, don't fucking let him in.
Jesus.
Period. Because he'll steal from you. I'm just looking out for you.
Like legit.
Yeah. There is another Justin Campbell, by the way, from East Liverpool. White dude,
Not
tattoos,
that dude.
tattoos. Not that dude. That guy's a nice guy. He's cool. He's whatever. so don't get him confused.
Oh shit. Well, dude, we're almost an hour 15. We didn't even touch 9/11.
We didn't touch 9/11. Let's do this 9/11 real quick.
We'll do 9/11. We'll do a couple minutes.
All right. Look, the one thing I want to know. Type in 9/11 thermite ground zero, because that's one of the things that I fucking either found out or fell for. We'll find out. That sucks. Yeah, thermite. Because that's something I've seen pictures of the thermite and the perfectly cut beams, but now that I'm thinking back, it's like that could be a picture of any fucking support beam that was cut with thermite,
here's my problem with the cut beams thing.
Yeah.
Rescue efforts. You're going to tell me someone didn't have a torch to move some shit?
There you go. Okay. That makes sense.
Well, apparently it was on this page too. Why?
Yeah, fuck it. It's probably down here somewhere.
We'll scroll through this one.
I definitely don't believe. Yeah, okay. We have been lied to. Melted steel beams. This is what I'm interested in. We have, and that's something I actually like. I've heard debunked, but I'm interested in the specifics. We have been lied to. Announces the website attackonamerica.net. The first lie was that the load of fuel from the aircraft was the cause of structural failure. No kerosene fire can burn hot enough to melt steel. I've heard that. The posting is entitled Proof of Controlled Demolition at the World Trade Center. Okay, jet fuel burns at 800 to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, not hot enough to melt steel needs to melt, I'm assuming, at 2750 Fahrenheit. Okay, so yeah, it's not hot enough. Yeah, that was something, but here's one thing that I did hear.
You don't need to
There we go. Yep, the steel loses 50% of its strength at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. See, that's what I was. It starts to wobble and heat up, and it softens.
You don't need to fucking melt steel for that thing to collapse.
Exactly. It doesn't need to melt. It's not that it melted, but it weakened from the fire.
I'm not going to claim to be the expert.
No.
But I spent 10 years welding.
Yeah.
I know what I can do with a fucking torch and a little bit of heat and what I can move with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, in that industry, you don't get, like, perfectly straight pieces of steel ever.
Yeah.
It's not possible. The shit heats up and cools down. It twists, it bends.
Right.
Sometimes, if it's thick enough, you have to take a torch and put heat on it to get it to straighten out or bend a certain way that you need it.
Okay.
And I'm not melting that.
Yeah.
I'm just
Obviously, yeah, that's not dripping up on the ground.
No, you're
Right.
you're getting it hot, and it shrinks.
See,
You ever gone across a bridge and noticed where like the bridge itself meets like the road,
yeah,
and there's a metal strip, and it looks like hexagons cut in half to interlock.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And on some days there's an inch between them.
yeah.
On other days,
See, I've never noticed that, but I could believe it too because
That's
the bridge
why
is
they're there.
moving. Yeah, and I do hear that bridges sway and things like
oh,
that. So-
absolutely. Go walk
okay.
across any steel bridge. I fucking,
Oh, dude, yeah, I have actually no bridge, so yeah,
that's supposed to do that.
yeah.
Because if it didn't, it'd be brittle and it would snap.
Okay, that makes sense. It'd be too stiff.
Yes, it's too rigid.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's it, all that shit's supposed to do that. Now, another thing they were talking about with this is people hearing explosions.
Right.
Okay.
That's something I've heard a lot too.
Now, I want you to think about something. How do you heat a building?
Air conditioning.
Air
Well, HVAC. Yeah,
HVAC.
some sort of a air ventilation.
No, you need a gas to heat that. That
Oh,
building
okay.
wasn't fucking electric. That
Right.
wasn't a green. They had natural gas in there.
Yep.
Now, you shear off a bunch of fucking natural gas pipes with a plane and everything's on fire.
Right.
There's a constant source of fucking natural gas that they haven't shut off.
Yeah.
There's
Now,
flame.
here's when I said earlier that I don't believe the official story. Here's what I mean. I believe the planes hit. I believe it fell.
Oh,
I believe
absolutely.
the government at least knew about what was going to happen and
Oh,
didn't take it seriously. That's the very least. If
That's
not,
that's common
allow it to-
knowledge.
I kind of feel like they also allowed it to happen.
I mean, they didn't do anything to actively stop it.
Yeah,
but you also
well,
got to think about
I
how
truly
many.
do think that the war over in the Middle East is mostly a war for oil. We're talking about peace. So what is it? Peace or because they attacked us?
Yeah.
And we're not even in the correct countries. There was a bunch of Saudis supposedly who attacked us, and we went to Iraq and Iran. That doesn't fucking make any sense. So what? And I'm sure there's people who are like way more nuanced on it who could either correct me or just give me a different point of view at least. But I don't trust the government at all. And I don't think there's any shame in being skeptical. I'm not saying that's absolutely
No.
what happened. But I
I
mean,
think-
like, the aftermath of it doesn't add up at all.
I think that they had information. I think everything you saw on TV, I do not think that was planned.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can talk about, like, I just told you about the melting steel bullshit.
Right. Yeah. And
That's why that argument doesn't stand up.
yeah.
Like, I can bend a fucking nail with a lighter if I'd have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get it hot enough.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to drip. I can bend it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And
Now, here's one thing, though, that you do got to take into consideration. Have you heard about the Gulf of Tonkin incident?
Gulf of Tonkin. Refresh my memory.
That's what got us into Vietnam. I
Yes.
forget it was in the Gulf
false
of Tonkin.
the false
Yeah,
flag.
False flag. Yeah, it was a false flag, and that fucking happened. So that's just like if we live under some people who would do some shit like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try again and be better at it of covering it up. So that's why I'm thinking, because there's no way they didn't know, like, these planes are getting hijacked, and isn't there some sort of, like, an autopilot feature that from Command Center can do something?
No.
I thought there was, man. Maybe not. I
Not
don't
that
know.
one.
I don't know any. I've never talked to any fucking pilots.
We got to think about how lax security was in 2001.
True, yeah.
You know,
But,
things are the way they are today because
but then
of that.
flying into the Pentagon is bullshit. All that was found in the rubble was burnt, unprinted on papers, and empty fucking offices that nobody was in. And it's like, fucking, dude, what was this guy who was able to crash a plane into the side of the Pentagon? Like, no, I don't buy that for a fucking second. That's a big one for me.
That one's
is the
weird.
Pentagon one. That one's fucking. That's why I don't buy the official story.
See, I didn't do enough on that one.
I would love to know somebody who would fucking school me in it, but I don't think there are those people. If there are, let me know. I'm open to learn.
I'm looking for the why did it collapse into itself thing.
See that one, because I have zero understanding of physics. I just never touched on that one at all. And I used to be like fully convinced that, like, American soldiers fucking hijacked them. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be that far into it.
Oh, here it is. Puffs of dust. As each tower collapsed, clearly visible puffs of dust and debris were ejected from the sides of the buildings. An advertisement in the New York Times for the book painful questions and analysis of the September 11th attack made this claim. The concrete clouds shooting out of the buildings are not possible from a mere collapse. They do occur from explosions. Numerous conspiracy theorists cite Van Romero, an explosives expert and vice president of the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology, who was quoted by on 9/11 by the Albuquerque Journal as saying, "There were some explosive devices inside the buildings that caused the towers to collapse," the articles continued. Romero said the collapse of the structures resembled those of controlled implosions used to demolish old structures. Now, here's the fact. Once each tower began to collapse, the weight of all the floors above the collapse zone bore down with pulverizing force on the highest intact floor. Unable to absorb the massive energy that the floor would fail, transmitting the forces to the floor below, allowing the collapse to progress downward through the building in a chain reaction. Engineers call the process pancaking, and it does not require an explosion to begin, according to David Biggs, a structural engineer at Ryan Biggs Associates and a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers, a team that worked on the FEMA report.
Okay, so that just makes sense to me. That like I said, I never really got into the physics side because it always kind of made sense to me.
Well, you gotta
it weakened or whatever, and so if you go with the theory that it was cut at the bottom, that's what they do. They collapse into themselves, and I think that might be what this article's trying to say. But I mean, also that makes sense that it would wobble and it would start to.
Yes. Well, you also
I don't
think about it like Jenga.
Yeah.
Like you start pulling pieces out of you start
Mm-hmm.
pulling pieces out of halfway down. It kind of falls straight down into the side.
Yeah,
it doesn't
sometimes
like
it'll
it
tip,
doesn't
but
like totally teeter.
Right.
But you also got to remember what you're fucking working with.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. This whole 9/11 thing, I don't believe the official story, but I believe that it was two planes that hit. I don't think it was so elaborate that there was.
No, I don't think there was there might have been explosions, but like I said,
and honestly,
natural gas lines can account for that.
I do believe that it were Al Qaeda terrorists who hijacked some planes and drove it into the building too.
Yes,
I do believe that as well.
Absolutely, but I think
I don't believe that there was nothing we could do to stop it.
Well, it's public knowledge that they knew about it.
Yeah, it was at the very least a fucking horrible example of negligence.
Oh, it was gross negligence.
Yeah. So, and that's we should at least take that.
And somebody might have just been like, "Well, I can profit from this."
I do think so. I mean,
did nothing to stop it. I would believe that.
Doesn't Dick Cheney have pipelines in Afghanistan now, or something like that? Or
he owned the company Halliburton,
right?
And I think they had a military contract to go overseas and do something there.
Yeah.
Build shit or something.
And I wonder if that has something to do with it. On top of that, too, I know veterans who were like, yeah, a lot of what was going on over there was guarding poppy fields.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, these are facts. So why don't we talk about those now?
They might be doing to us with heroin what they did to black people with crack in the 80s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The hillbilly heroin, man. Get your Parkers at you.
Yeah. Well,
fucking
this
horrible.
isn't the company that makes what the fuck is it? Fentanyl. Aren't they making oh shit. I don't know if it was fentanyl or it was an opioid company, but they were making something to help wean you off opioids.
Yeah, no, probably like Suboxone.
Kind of.
Yeah, something like that. Yep. I'm sure. It's gross.
And I learned about that the same way I learned about everything, through memes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how that's the real knowledge. There is the memes on the face page.
the book of faces.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well,
all right.
Fuck it, man. I think we can wrap this up now.
That sounds good. I gotta get back to Liverpool, but before I do that, take a wicked piss.
Word. All right, we'll be back next week.
Later, bitches.
Bye.